I don't know that I have a favorite one, although I do think some of the shows we did right towards the end were pretty good. The second oatmeal show we did, I thought was especially clever, and I liked our the final episode, the final chocolate episode. I thought was pretty good. So, but I love them all. That's over now. Maybe. Never know. Yeah. Thanks.
I just wanted to know if there were any chemical changes, if you wanted to add like cheese or something, or some other ingredients to biscuits to, if it's going to make them fall, or if it's not going to let them rise, or...
Chemical issues that would affect, yes. Over leavening, getting too much, the ratio...
Well, like cheddar cheese, fairly acidic.
Cheddar cheese, are you now putting cheese in your biscuits? Is that what you're...
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Any kind of additives like that, cheddar cheese.
Oh, do additives throw things off?
Right.
Yeah, they do. Cheese will especially throw off biscuits because of the fat. What I do, if you're going to make a cheesy goodness biscuit, and God love you for doing it, I chill the cheese after I grate it. And typically when I'm going to make a cheese biscuit, I will work together all the dry ingredients the night before, including the cheese, and refrigerate it. And then make up the biscuits and cook them in the morning. I find that way the cheese doesn't get in the way of the rise quite as much, because it will. It will. If the cheese starts to melt before the dough really gets a good poof, you can have some problems. And what I was saying before was about the leavening, that if you get too much leavening in a biscuit, it'll rise real quickly before it can set, before the protein and the starch can set, and then it falls again. So, there you go. Because a lot of people think with biscuits that, I want them taller, I'm going to use more leavening. No. If you want your biscuits taller, make your dough wetter. The number one mistake of southern biscuit makers is the dough's too dry. The predominant lift in a biscuit comes from steam. The dough should be so sticky you can barely handle it. Just saying. Yes?
Hi.
Hi.
Are you familiar with Sean Brock's project to help grow olive trees in
Yes,
Georgia?
I am familiar with Chef Brock's plans, and I'm a supporter of that.
Amen. Now, I suppose that happened because he needed more olive oil for his deep fryers.
Yes, he needed oil for his fryers, yes.
And other things, I'm assuming,
Yes.
because we can't get consistent lard.
Right.
When did that change?
When did the whole lard thing become that way?
An influx in restaurants?
We
can't get enough lard?
Inconsistency in lard has always been there because the animal has so much fat on it that it's got so much, the structure changes the fat depending on where it is in the body. So to really have a supply of fat that's reliable, you have to get it from the same growers who are growing the same kind of pigs and processing the lard the same kind of ways, which is really difficult to do in this
So we
day and
probably
age.
don't have enough pigs for all the deep fryers.
Say again?
So we probably don't have enough pigs for all the deep fryers.
Well, the nice thing about lard is, you can put lard in a deep fryer and keep it there for a while, but it breaks down quickly. It's not a very good frying oil, in my opinion. I would much rather fry in regular old olive oil, not extra virgin, but regular olive oil, personally. It's like when I make potato chips at home, olive oil. Cool. Yes?
First, I was going to say welcome to Knoxville. We're very happy to have you here.
Thank you. You didn't bring me any biscuits.
I just wanted to say, I remember when I was a child, the biscuits that my grandmother made tasted very different from the ones she made later in life. And I wondered if that's because of the clabbered milk versus buttermilk.
It probably could have been, here's the thing, that would have been my number one guess. The number one guess would have been that the milk product was different. The difference between a clabbered milk and a lactose product. The other thing would be the flour though. The predominant taste that after the acidity of a biscuit is from the flour. And as mills change, as the supply, it is an agricultural product, as that changes, whether it's older flour or younger flour, whether it's bleach, whether it's bromated, all those things kind of work into that. And if was it your grandmother you said?
Yes.
Your grandmother, if she made biscuits that came from a very specific place and time using local ingredients, once one of those ingredients changed, odds are the biscuit changed. See, that's the thing, they're like canaries in the coal mine. You can't change anything without changing the biscuit because they're so simple and therefore so complex.
I do know she used to make her own, what we call buttermilk, but I guess it was clabbered milk.
Yes, it was clabbered. It would have tasted very similar, but its characteristics after baking might have changed. And the flavors that are left over from it afterwards change is also very different.
Thank you.
You sure? Yes?